Could AI review Chinese EVs better than me? With the rapid rise of Chinese EVs and the AI explosion happening around the same time, who would win in the battleground of car reviews? Let's use my 2022 Neo ET7. Now, it's not old, but after 3 years, it does seem a little bit outdated. So after 37 years, am I outdated? I'm Will. So let's go head to head, back to back. We won't do a full review because that would just be way too long. Instead, we'll just focus on the exterior styling and the interior styling up front. And this is how it's gonna work. I'll give each of us about a minute for each section and I'll show them to you back to back. And your job is to guess in the comments which one was written by me and which one was written by AI. After each section, I'll give you the answer and I'll break down where I think AI nailed it and where it missed the mark. So let the game begin. The Neo ET7 strides into view with the confidence of a full-size luxury sedan, but the proportions of a fastback. Its nose elegantly drops into frameless windows and a roofline that sweeps back into a subtle lip on the boot. It's more VIP lounge than hatchback. The lights glare just enough to hint at the performance, but the silhouette remains calm and refined. Think broad shoulders, wide haunches, and a stance to suggest this car likes to cruise, not just sprint. Aerodynamics haven't been ignored either. With a drag coefficient of just 0.208, this has the kind of slipstream efficiency that you'd expect from something far sleeker than its size suggests. The ET7 delivers design that feels upscale and purposeful. No gimmicks, just presence. The Neo ET7 is 5.1 meters of pure sexiness, 4-door stylish coupe, long nose, rear haunches, and a fastback roof that dives into the rear and then kicks up subtly over the boot. The double dash DRLs give the car a slight menacing look, whilst the rear modern simple light bar just oozes class. Nearly 3 years on, it's hard to deny that this is still really good looking.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really ridiculously good looking?
A touch of chrome, frameless windows and soft closed doors and bodywork that flows from the front to the rear elegantly. It's not overdone, but bold enough to make an impression. Some hate the protrusions from the roof, a LiDAR flanked by 2 cameras, but this show of tech force is common nowadays in China. Still, it's as smooth as a baby, still with drag coefficient of just 0.208. This was only bested at the time by the Mercedes EQS. So now it's time to break down what I thought of the AI's attempt. Pause the video here and guess in the comments which one is AI, A or B. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Neo ET7 strides into view with the confidence of a full-size luxury sedan. I think this intro line is strong. It surprised me because the beginning of my section also started with the ET7 being a big car with coupe styling. Or sexiness, 4-door stylish coupe, and both has touched on other similar points. And a fastback roof that dives into the rear and then roofline that sweeps back. But then at the end of this section, the AI, I'm not really quite sure. It confused me with this. VIP lounge, then hatchback. And I don't really know why it's mentioned hatchbacks. This is not a liftgate like a Audi A7. This is very much a sedan. Maybe it got confused. Maybe it's trying to say that it's not a hatchback, but it's just too ambiguous and confusing. The lights glare just enough to hint at the performance. And then this last one, don't get it either. The headlights hint at the performance. It's just garbage. Same deal, but this time the interior. Watch them back to back. Which one is AI? The ET7's interior is a familiar mix of Neo's premium minimalism and tech without the feeling of being barren or devoid of style. The weirdly proportioned 12.8-inch vertical screen floats in the center of the dash, and driver information is given by a 10.2-inch instrument panel behind a 2-spoke steering wheel and also a heads-up display. There's key Neo styling features in here, including Nomi, the bobble-headed AI voice assistant up on the dash, and the Neo style shifter. But the single phone charging pad and no glove box were always a drawback in this generation of Neo. But Neo did usher in Dolby Atmos 7.1.4 spatial audio with this car, which is now a standard amongst Chinese smart EVs. High quality materials define this interior back in 2022. You had Nappa leather everywhere. Nappa leather on the dash, on the doors, on the central console, Nappa leather seats with heat, ventilation and spa massage function. And all that Nappa leather was contrasted by a Alcantara roofliner, as well as this reconstituted wood, the Karoon material, and metal touch points and metal detailing all around this cabin. It was a classy place and still is today. The cabin of the 2022 Neo ET7 thrusts you into a sleek, tech-forward space. The floating central display and the widescreen digital instrument cluster float above a minimalist dash, giving a feeling of openness and high-tech calm. Soft Nappa leather covers the seats, while the Karoon rattan-derived trim across the dash and doors injects something that's sustainable and warm. Two-tone steering wheel, invisible vents and clean lines reinforces that modern-day living room vibe. And the rearward visibility is helped by the slim A-pillars, and broad glass roof adds daylight. Comfort isn't an afterthought either, with heated, ventilated and massaging front seats hint at long-haul luxury rather than race car Spartan. The result? Driver's area that blends futuristic tech with plush materials in a way usually reserved for premium European sedans.
Okay, let's talk about the AI on the interior. Pause the video here and guess in the comments which one is AI, A or B. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The floating central display and the widescreen digital instrument cluster float above a minimalist dash.
Now the ET7 doesn't have a widescreen digital instrument panel above the dash, it's just a 10.2 inch behind the wheel, but I think that the AI has gotten confused and actually referencing the widescreen you'll find on the new generation Neo ET9 and Neo ES8, both of which do have a door-to-door single widescreen panel. So this is just wrong. The AI commends the rearward visibility, which I wouldn't agree is the greatest, but the problem is that the A pillar is in front of the driver, so it doesn't really have much to do with visibility behind you.
And the rearward visibility is helped by the slim A pillars.
The final line in that section, broad glass roof adds daylight. It's just a bit weird and awkward.
And broad glass roof adds daylight.
So this probably gave my part away, the fact that I pointed out some weaknesses of the car.
But the single phone charging pad and no glove box were always a drawback in
where AI tends to naturally be overly optimistic. I also talked about the car in the past.
High quality materials define this interior back in 2022.
Whereas AI spoke about it very much in the present, even though it knew it was a 2022 model car.
But Neo did usher in Dolby Atmos.
And the last big giveaway was me talking about a feature in the context of competition at the time.
My first thought was that it didn't really do too bad of a job. I mean, the few mistakes it made I could easily correct and it wouldn't be wrong per se, but if you think a little bit deeper, then the cracks begin to show. This is not a new car, it's been on the market for 3 years, and so there's a lot of information online for it to pull from, and it also likes to pull from places like Neo's own website, which of course is just positive marketing stuff. But what made me laugh was when I found out that it was pulling from my own written reviews about the ET7, and I also caught a line or two from Mark Andrews' ET7 review as well. For those who don't know, Mark Andrews is a friend, fellow Brit and car reviewer who recently wrote a book called Driving the Dragon, The Extraordinary Rise of the Chinese Car Industry. And it's basically from his days of reviewing Chinese cars and the Chinese market from about 2007. It's definitely worth a read. There are some pictures there of his time with the Neo ET7. I'm not being paid or anything like that, just If you're interested in Chinese cars and Chinese EVs, it's definitely worth picking up, so I'll leave a description in the link down below. So while AI might do a decent job making a review for a car that's been on the market for a few years, I'm more often than not reviewing brand new cars that haven't hit the market yet. And so the information just isn't out there for it to pull from. Sure, I could feed it the confidential media documents, but then all it would be doing is regurgitating the brand's marketing. It wouldn't have any third-party insight into how it drives or rides or what the interior feels like or how it compares to competition. All you would get is a rearranging of the brand's own words, and it would just fire out a branded advert, not an authentic review. Oh, and it changes its opinion because it pulls from random reviews. So one moment it could pull a positive review about the driving and give you an upbeat commentary, and then you ask it to redo it, and now it pulls a negative review, and suddenly it takes a negative position. And that's before we even start to talk about bias in the prompting. So I could prompt the AI to give me an overly positive review, and I get something like this. The exterior of the ET7 is nothing short of a masterclass in electric elegance. Its sweeping fastback silhouette, bold line signature, and flawless proportions make it feel like a luxury spaceship on wheels. But alternatively, I could also ask it to slam the exterior of the car, and it would give me something like this. The exterior of the Neo ET7 tries hard to look futuristic, but ends up feeling bloated and derivative. Those awkward LiDAR bulges, weak frontal identity, and overly plain rear simply don't add up to luxury. Now, different car reviewers have different opinions on different aspects of cars. But the thing is, whose opinions are these? They don't belong to anybody. They're just engineered to fulfill a prompt, regardless of truth or true feelings. So in conclusion, while doing this video, AI made a decent attempt of producing a review, but it's stealing from us. If there weren't any car reviewers out there, well, it'd have nothing to copy from and nothing to say.